in a way that keeps traffic moving.
And I hope that they take into account that, you know, businesses like mine, we have to get our customers in.
And now this plan, whatever they do, they aren't ground on this until probably 2019, they say. Now, you may have noticed, if you've driven through they've been doing construction, it seems like for the last 2 years, they say those projects are really just to keep the roadway viable until this new project takes effect. Reporting live in West Dallas, Abe Levetkin, WISN 12 News.
All right, Abe, thanks. We are following a developing story now. Wisconsin Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says he will ask the state Supreme Court to consider reinstating Wisconsin's voter ID law before the November election. Van Hollen said that he will ask the court to hear appeal cases in state court which lower stop the implement.
The court will hear the case, but 2 appellate courts will have to hear these cases along the way, and we will be forward with certainty. There are a lot of very good reasons for the Supreme Court to take these cases now.
This is one of the most fundamental constitutional rights that we have, to say that we live in a democratic society where everyone has an equal voice when they get to the polling booth, and there is no need to rush this process.
The Supreme Court has refused to hear the case earlier on once already. Van Hollen, but circumstances have changed since then.
Commitment 2012 coverage on a new poll. Mitt Romney's choice of Paul Ryan as his running mate has now given the Republican presidential candidate the lead among voters in Wisconsin. According to a new public policy poll, Romney now has a lead over President Obama, 48 to 47% in Wisconsin. That represents a 7-point shift from public policy polls last Thursday in early July, when Obama led Romney 50 to 44%. Paul Ryan campaigning in Pennsylvania today, waving a Steelers terrible towel during a campaign stop. Ryan visited a steel plant. He criticized the president's handling of the economy.
It's not enough just to point out the failed leadership from President Obama. We are also offering solutions. It's not just the fact the president's agenda has failed, that this is the largest deficits we've had in 70 years, the biggest government we've had since World War II. That's not enough. We're offering specific solutions that are designed to get people back to work.
President Obama is back on the campaign trail. The president made a stop at Campbell University in Columbus, Ohio, to talk about education. Said Romney's budget plan would slash Pell Grants and student loans.
What a high school student, what he would do to make college more affordable for families like his. Governor Romney didn't take grants or loan programs that are critical to get a college education. He said service programs, rising college tuition. He didn't say a word of community colleges or state system, America's future. He said the best thing you can do is shop around.
Candidates have deployed surrogates to campaign for them here in Wisconsin. Joining now, of course, WISN 12 News political reporter Kent Wainscott. And Kent, the campaign, candidates aren't here, but they have some heavy hitters.
Yeah, they actually do on both sides. In fact, it's become a common occurrence in the race. Big-name surrogates stumping for the candidates. For the Obama campaign today, it was someone who has close ties to the president, Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick. He was joined by South Carolina Congressman James Clyburn, and the two men greeted volunteers at a campaign office on Milwaukee's north side. That's where I asked Governor Patrick about the fact that he's campaigning here in Wisconsin in place of the president. Some have questioned whether the campaign might be taking Wisconsin for granted.
But I don't think the president or the campaign takes any state for granted, and shouldn't. The conventional wisdom is that the election will be close, and I want people to be anxious about the outcome because I want them to care about the outcome and come out and vote.
Meanwhile, on the Republican side, U.S. Senator Ron Johnson is on the road for the Romney-Ryan campaign. Johnson spent the day traveling Wisconsin, hosting business roundtables like this one at the Italian Community Center in Milwaukee. The Republican senator hopes that they'll spur business owners and community leaders to get involved and spread the word to friends, families, and neighbors. Johnson says the financial future of America is at stake.
Governor Romney, Paul Ryan are an excellent team that are serious about solving those problems. So I want to do everything I can between now and the election in November
to make sure that President Obama is a one-term president. We simply cannot afford 4 more years of President Obama. He's provided no leadership on these issues. We need leadership.
Senator Johnson also stopped in Kimberly and Wausau today. We'll get a clearer picture of how the race stands in Wisconsin tomorrow when the Marquette University Law School poll releases its new presidential poll for the state.
And this race, of course, is building up, especially on the Republican side, for the convention, which is just days away now. We're getting a clearer picture, actually, of what Wisconsin's role will be at that convention.
Yeah, in fact, Governor Walker, just within the past hour, was announced that he will be delivering an address in prime time on Tuesday evening at the convention. You and I, of course, will both be there. We will have live team coverage from Tampa Hall next week.
That's right, and as Ken just mentioned, we will be at that convention. Our live team reports from Florida beginning Monday only, right here on WISN 12 News.
Yeah, tonight we are getting our first look at the Campbellsport teenager accused of shooting a little girl with an arrow. New at 6, WISN 12 News' Marianne Lyles was in court as the victim came face-to-face with the team for the first time.
It was a quick court appearance for 16-year-old Casey Bennett, but it was significant because the teen was looking at the judge for the first time, charged as an adult for shooting the arrow that struck 7-year-old Ariana Schneeber. It was also her first time to see the boy accused of seriously injuring her back in May.
I think the last judge that weighed them into adult part was completely right. I said it wasn't juvenile behavior, it was a criminal mind.
Laura Beth Schneeber said this was Ariana's first time in court, but the 7-year-old was quiet when asked about the morning.
You guys, give it a rest. You guys need to split the circuit.
Bennett also said nothing and kept his head down. The 16-year-old's relatives told reporters to go away. Prosecutors say Bennett was aiming for a squirrel when he hit Ariana with an arrow, but he also lied to detectives when first questioned. Ariana's mother says she's waiting for an apology, but is happy her daughter is once again healthy and trying to move on.
At the beginning of the summer, she couldn't jump trampoline, but now she can do that. Playing in the pool, but the chlorine from the pool agitates her scar, so she has to keep getting out every now and again.
And because of that scar, Ariana will have surgery again next year. Meanwhile, Bennett is back in court next month. In Fond du Lac County, Marianne Lyles, WISN 12 News.
Now that Bennett is being charged as an adult, he could face up to 13 years in prison if convicted.
Bail is set at $1 million for the Illinois man accused of killing a pregnant woman at a Door County resort. Brian Cooper appeared in court for the first time this afternoon. Investigators say Cooper took the victim, Alicia Bromfield, to his sister's wedding in hopes of rekindling their romance. They say he strangled her in the room at the Sand Bay Resort.
In his words to officers, he never really let on that she ever led him on or led him to believe that there was anything more, and that she was shattering his hopes. His hopes were shattered, but they were hopes that existed in his mind, not from anything that she had led him on to believe.
The Door County Sheriff says the victim was 6.5 months pregnant. Cooper was not the father.
Right now, there's a workshop going on for young people looking to fill out DREAM applications. The DREAM program allows young illegal immigrants to work and go to school in the United States. This is video. The packed house that showed up for the workshop Sunday at St. Albert's on Milwaukee's South Side. The workshops are sponsored by Voces de la Frontera. Tonight's session began at 5. It is at the Racine Labor Center on Mount Pleasant and Leonard Avenue. Now, home sales in Wisconsin increased more than 17% in July. That's according to new data released by the Wisconsin Realtors Association. 6,023 homes were sold in July. The median price also rose for the 5th straight month. The average price of a home in Wisconsin is now $143,000.
The summertime heat is about to return, Mark. It has been cooler than average for much of August.
And that is about to change when we'll hit the 80s and maybe even 90 degrees next to Watch 12.
Then new information on the deadly cantaloupe recall. The information health officials are asking the government to release.
Plus, the popular retailer altering its layaway policy right in time for the holiday shopping season. The changes it's making to try to attract more customers. Stay with us. You're watching WISN 12 News.
Lease the 2012 Honda Civic LX Automatic for only $179 per month with no down. No